Hello, 251 students. I'd like to welcome you to the fall semester. Hopefully by now you have already logged into the course and have taken a look at the course syllabus. As you know, this is a short-term course, which means we move very quickly because it is not a full-term course. So we have to cover certain concepts in a compressed amount of time. So it is going to be so important that you keep up with the reading assignments. Hopefully you've taken a look at the reading list, and I have posted pictures of the new textbook. This semester, we will be using the Norton Anthology, and it is a two-volume set of books. So make sure that when you purchase your books, that you purchase the correct textbooks for this course. It says the Norton Anthology, American Literature. The first one is Beginnings to 1820, and then the second one is 1820 to 1865. So make sure you purchase the correct textbooks for this course. And do that as soon as possible because, as I've already mentioned, we will move quickly in this course. Now, if you have taken a look at the syllabus, you have seen the grade plan for this course. It is divided into three modules. And the first module will cover the Native American writers. Actually, I've only included one writing, and it is a trickster tale, Coyote and Bear. It is not in the textbook, but I have provided a handout for that reading. And then we will read Christopher Columbus's letter of discovery. Once he got to the New World, and he wrote back telling them what he discovered in the New World. And that hopefully you'll find that interesting. Then we will move to the explorers and the colonies. We'll take a look at the Puritan writers. They, of course, left England and came to the New World in hopes of purifying the church. And so we will have some literature by those writers. And then we will take a look at a couple of Puritan women, Anne Bradstreet and Mary Rawlinson. Mary Rawlinson was captured by the Native Americans, and so in her narrative, she describes or talks about her ordeal. And every time the Indians would move with Mary Rawlinson, she called that a remove. So it's like a new chapter, but instead of chapter one, chapter two, it's remove one, remove two. And so hopefully you will enjoy that captivity narrative. And the last part of that module will cover the writers from the Age of Reason or the Enlightenment period. So you'll take a look at Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Paine. I provided a handout for Patrick Henry, and we'll also look at the Declaration of Independence with the main writer being Thomas Jefferson. And that will cover module one. At the end of each module, you will have an essay assignment and an exam. So make sure that you are reading because throughout the module, each week you will either have a discussion post or a quiz, or a discussion post and a quiz, because you will have like reading check quizzes or assignments on Mondays and Tuesdays in this course. And these quizzes and discussion posts are worth 10 points. And I do drop the lowest discussion post grade and the lowest quiz grade. Therefore, you cannot make up those daily grades, okay, or daily assignments. So if you miss one, hopefully that zero will be your lowest grade and it will get dropped at the end of the course. Now, when we move to module two, we'll take a look at the period known as Romanticism, and you will read Rip Van Winkle by Washington Irving, and we'll take a look at William Cullen Bryant's poetry. I have listed three poems there. We will also look at the well-read, well-known Edgar Allan Poe. We'll take a look at The Raven as well as the short story The Cask of Amontillado. And then we'll look at some writers that are sometimes classified as anti-transcendentalists. They focused on their writings focus more on the darker side of human nature. So we'll look at Nathaniel Hawthorne's Young Goodman Brown and the Birthmark, and we'll also take a look at Herman Melville's Bartleby the Scrivener. And you're probably more familiar with um, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, which of course is way too long. I guess we could read some excerpts from it, but I have not included Moby Dick on the reading list. And then we will look at two famous transcendentalist writers, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. And that will conclude Module 2. Now, the third module, I had to really pick and choose because the course will come to an end, and I couldn't include all the writers that I enjoy and I think you would enjoy as well. But we're going to focus on some slave narratives. So we will look at Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, and we'll look at Harriet Jacobs' incidents in the life of a slave girl, and I had to include Frederick Douglass's um, autobiography, which is titled Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. And we will conclude the course with some poetry by Emily Dickinson. Now, you will not have an essay on Module 3, you will simply take a final exam. The final exam will not be comprehensive in that I will not go back to day one. The final exam will only cover the content in Module 3. So make sure you take a look at the course syllabus. There are some things you need to complete week 1. You need to complete Blackboard orientation if you haven't already. Go ahead and post a brief introduction in the discussion tab if you'd like to acquire 5 bonus points. And of course, you will need to take the course syllabus. Now, all of these assignments are important and you need to complete them as soon as possible because we use the assignments, the initial assignments for attendance taking purposes. And if you haven't logged in and completed the assignments, I will turn you in as being absent on the official attendance roster, which is due August the 25th. And once that information has been submitted, then you run the risk of being dropped from the course if you've been counted absent. So please log in and complete those assignments so that I know you will be participating in the course. Now, I'd like to recommend that you log in to the course several times throughout the week so that you can read announcements. We will communicate using the Calhoun email account. So make sure you do not send emails from your personal accounts, but use your school account to communicate with me in this course. The other thing I want to mention is that there are some resources that are available to you if you find yourself struggling with the course or with some concepts. Of course, you should always contact me and we can schedule a face-to-face conference, a telephone conference. I will have some Zoom sessions throughout the course. I try to schedule those so that there's one in the mornings and one in the evening hours to accommodate your different work schedules. But we also have the STAR Institute. You can contact them and schedule a tutoring session. And also in the course, you will notice that we have an online tutorial service and it is on the homepage and it's called tutor.com. Now, make sure when you're writing in this course that all of your essays are original. You can and will be encouraged to quote from the literature that we've studied, but you will have to use parenthetical documentation because we will use MLA format for our essays. So if you need to brush up on MLA format, make sure you take a look at a writer's reference. It has been updated. We are using a new edition. If you have an older edition, then I'm not suggesting you go out and buy a new one, okay? Because you can also find the MLA updates online. But once again, if you find yourself struggling with concepts or need a refresher, just contact me and I'll be more than happy to schedule a time for us to meet to discuss whatever it is you need assistance with. Now, once again, your daily assignments will be due on Mondays and Thursdays in this course. You do have a list of it says general testing information, and you have a list of when all your assignments are due, okay? And the points associated with each one of these assignments. Once again, your lowest discussion grade will be dropped and your lowest quiz grade, not your lowest exam grade or essay grade. I will not drop those. So you want to make sure that you keep up with the reading. You should find yourself reading something every day, okay? And I know this is going to be a challenge for those of you that work full time, but hopefully you will utilize the weekends or your days off to read ahead. Now, once you log into the module, you are free to complete the assignments at as long as you meet the deadlines. You know, ahead of time. So if you want to work ahead, that's fine. Now, once you get to the essay and the exam in that module, you will have to stop until I open the next module. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or to call my office phone, and I will, if I'm not in the office, I will check my messages and get back with you as soon as possible. Now, because of the pandemic, if you want to come to campus for face-to-face conferences, then there is a protocol that you need to follow. And I know by now that you guys know not to come if you've had a fever or you've had COVID symptoms. And you will be asked once you come to my office to wear a mask. So make sure if you are coming to campus for a face-to-face conference that you have a mask to wear. Now, please take a look at the course syllabus for the attendance policy, for the makeup policy. Academic honesty is so important in all of your courses. You don't want to find yourselves guilty of plagiarism. Your essays will be submitted in SafeAssign, which is a plagiarism detection software that we use. It highlights everything that has been borrowed from other sources. Now, if you have documented where you got that information, then you're safe. But if you incorporate that information in your paper without proper documentation, you may find yourself guilty of plagiarism, which is a severe offense. Now, take a look at the course syllabus. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll do my best to answer your questions. I like putting names with faces, so when you do your introductions, if you'd like to post pictures of you, your family, your pets, you doing your hobbies or whatever, that helps me to better visualize who you are and to better understand how I can assist you or accommodate you throughout the semester. But once again, I look forward to working with you and discussing this great literature. It is my hope that once this course has ended, even though you may not enjoy everything we read, that you will develop a deeper appreciation for the literature and the writings of those who are instrumental in providing some ideas that you will see are still very prevalent in our society today. So let's have a great semester.